Hi everybody! If you thought the Sorcerer's Stone Artbox collection was a big rabbit hole to understand, it only gets worse from here, hence the adventure bucket hat, because to explain the chamber secrets to you, we have to go on a little adventure. So this video is going to be broken up into multiple parts. The first part is me explaining to you the series, listing everything down, and the rest of the video is going to be showing you my collection, from the base sets to the costume, etc. Now if you don't know what I'm talking about, there is the Sorcerer's Stone Artbox video already on the channel. I highly recommend you check that one out first, because that one really explains to you what Artbox is, and I don't really think I should explain Artbox every single time because it's gonna be like 14 videos. It's gonna be very, very repetitive. So if you remember, I had mentioned that the first Artbox series that came out in 2004 was Prisoner of Azkaban, that coincided with the film release. Then in 2005, Sorcerer's Stone came out. And then in 2006, Chamber of Secrets came out. The Artbox series, that is, not the movies. So, this one is the first of its kind that is a little bit different. I hope that makes sense for you guys. So let's just look at this list and I'll explain everything to you guys. So just like Sorcerer's Stone, you have 24 packs of 8 cards, 10 boxes per case, 600 cases total. So common sets are approximately 1 to 99 per box if collation were perfect. Like the first Sorcerer's Stone set, you have a base set of 90 cards, with the 90th card being the checklist. Now obviously, we're not going to go through all of that because it's quite simple. Now this is where we start with the chase cards. So just like the previous Sorcerer's Stone set, this also has a rare foil cards that makes a puzzle. You put all 9 cards together, you turn them over, and they make a beautiful image all together. So you got like your character ones there. And you'll notice on this list that for the first time, that's right, so even though there's already 2 series out, right, Prisoner of Azkaban and Sorcerer's Stone is already out, this time we actually have cards that are numbered. So for example, the first card on this list is called C1, and it goes all the way down to C17. Now, the C stands for costume card because we're talking about costume cards here. For example, you have Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter's tartan red shirt, and those are only 190 cards worldwide. And it goes on, you got Rupert Grint, Kenneth Branagh, you have more Daniel Radcliffe and Rupert Grint, Christian Coulson, David Bradley, Jason Isaacs, Bonnie Wright, Emma Watson, Tom Felton, Devin Murray, and Richard Griffiths. So you see there's a lot of them, and the numbers vary, right? So some of them are limited edition of 190, some are 165, some are 440. David Bradley's August Filch was 665. So you see what I'm saying? Like, so there's a lot of them. And again, these were the first of its kind to have categorized in it, like C1, C2, C3. So again, Prisoner of Azkaban, Sorcerer's Stone, they didn't have that. This is the newest thing, so starting in 2006 is when they start to do these type of like identification. Previously, there was no identification for it. Now let's move on to autographs. So you had Richard Griffith as Uncle Vernon, Harry Melling as Dudley Dursley by Redemption, which if you don't remember, Redemption was you would receive a redemption card in your pack, and it says you have to mail this out to Artbox. In exchange of that card, they would mail you an autograph card, but like Artbox doesn't exist anymore, so you can just find these on eBay for a couple bucks to even a couple $100 depending on the autograph redemption card, and nothing would happen because you can't mail it out. If you do mail it out, there's nobody there. Shirley Henderson as Moni Myrtle, Fiona Shaw, and Petunia Julian Glover. So there's a lot of these, right? A lot of these are by redemption as well. If we keep going, we get to prop cards, which is 1 in 80 packs. And again, these are identified. So it says P1 all the way to P10, first of its kind. Again, Sorcerer's Stone, Prisoner of Azkaban didn't have this identification or categorizing, whatever you want to call it. So P1 was Floo Powder, we had the Howler, Books from Dumbledore's Office, Fox's Feathers, Mandrake's Dueling Club, Platform Cloth, Gilderoy Lockhart's Magical Me, Aragog's Legs, Potion Books, and Christmas Crackers. And so it looks like the biggest one in the prop series was actually the Mandrake. There was 360 of these made. Keep in mind though, there are variants of this card. So I actually have 2 Mandrake cards to show you, but they're 2 different variants inside. And what I mean by variants, I mean the little material that's included in the card is different. So it is a big rabbit hole because if you really want to collect everything, you gotta look for all the different variants. And then we have the 35mm cinema film cell cards. And again, these are the very first ones to be labeled CFC, cinema film cell, from 1 to 9. Now these are numbered individually, but the website here doesn't actually state their limited edition number, but I will show you the ones that I have later on. Next up, we have box topper cards. Box topper card was the card at the very top of a box of cards that you would receive. So there was 4 of them to collect, so BT stands for box topper. So 1 was Sorting Hat, 2 Miss Norris, 3 Platform 9 3/4, and 4 was Flourish and Blots. And then you get lenticular case topper cards. Now these are quite hard to find now because they are in a case of cards. Now if you remember at the very top, we're going to go all the way up again. It says 24 packs of 8 cards, 10 boxes per case. So you had to buy 10 boxes to get a lenticular case card. That's a lot of boxes. And so the lenticular case toppers was either a basilisk, which I do have, I can show you that, really cool, and a Ron and Flu powder card. Again, these are lenticular, they're really, really cool. Hard to show on film though, or camera, because of how lenticular they are. Then there was the card album sold separately, so it was a binder, and inside that binder there was some gold promo cards. It was number 3 and 4. Now you can find these on eBay, but the harder the promo card is, the more expensive it is to buy, obviously. Then we have dealer incentive cards. So these were sold to dealers, or not sold, but given to dealers who were selling these Artbox cases and boxes. CI, which is case incentive, was Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter, Blue Stripe pajamas. There was 340 of them only, and they were in 2 cases. CI2 was Hermione's cauldron, CI3 was a Basilisk Fang, and CI4 with a letter from Hogwarts. And look how little these numbers are, right? So there's 340, 160, 164. Very hard to find these, of course. And then there's all these promos, right? So silver promo set in a binder case, a green promo set was in 3 binder cases, red promo set was in 5 binder cases, and then a blue promo set was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. And then you had the promo cards, so gold was general distribution, and then the second one was also general distribution. And of course the dealer sales sheet, which is again hard to find all of these things, but they are on eBay. It's just very expensive, so it depends if you want to pay for them or not. So now that we've gone through that and I've explained to you what's in the list, and also you can just read all the list of things on this video. If I didn't say it, just pause the video. So let's go look at the base set and everything else that I have for Chamber of Secrets. Alright, let's look at the base set of Harry Potter and Chamber of Secrets. First off, before I continue, I do want to point out that everything is in gold foils, just like Sorcerer's Stone was, right? Because if you remember, the first 2 movies had a gold logo, and then by Prisoner of Azkaban, they swapped to silver, so keep that in mind in the future videos. But just like the Sorcerer's Stone, you start off with a title card, which is basically a movie poster at this point. And then you get some character cards. So obviously you get Harry and Ron. You'll also notice that just like Sorcerer's Stone, everything is a specific color. So whereas Sorcerer's Stone had purple, right? Here we have green. And this basically is the same format for all the cards up until Deathly Hallows. For some reason, they were just like, nope, we're not going to follow off with the rest of the series. We're just going to completely change format of everything. And there'll be different colors and different like format of the cards, because you'll notice basically they have like they're in a frame, right? It's a frame with the character inside of it. Yeah, that doesn't happen after Deathly Hallows, or I should say it doesn't happen in Deathly Hallows Part 1 or Part 2. So it's from 1 to 6, including 6 that look like this with different colors. Okay, so just like Sorcerer's Stone, you start off with the main characters, and then we get Ginny and Draco, Dumbledore and McGonagall, and then Hagrid over here. And just like Sorcerer's Stone, you get a little blurb about the character and which actor portrays the character, and obviously these are all numbered. So moving right along, we have Snape, Gilderoy Lockhart, Lucius Malfoy, Tom Riddle, Dobby, Sprout, Madame Pomfrey, Filch, and Fox. And again, little blurbs about the character. And then after like the first 2 pages of characters, we get to like the stills, right? And again, they're still in green, gold foil. So here we are. And by the way, I made a mistake in my previous section of this video where I was saying like it was Prison of Azkaban and then Sorcerer's Stone and then Chamber of Secrets. Well, that technically is correct. There is another set that came out in 2005, and that would be Goblet of Fire. But I was talking like chronologically for the first 3, right? Not talking about the 4th one, so I do want to amend my mistake there. Okay, so here are all the stills. Again, you can see here a little still about card 27, the back, the blurb about it and all that. Feel free to pause the video anytime you want. I will also be including stills because I feel like when I video these, they don't really show the colors all that well because I guess lighting is a difficulty with these reflections. You know, they're shiny in the first place, and then the sleeves are not the easiest to work with. I feel like these colors are a little bit washed out, honestly, but they're not washed out in person. It's very vibrant, very green, very beautiful. And it does go in order, right? So, like, towards the end of it, we're by the Chamber of Secrets. Which Chamber of Secrets is my favorite movie. Shout out Chris Columbus. And here is the final card in the base set. It's called the Checklist, and it's all 90 cards. So when you flip it over, there's the bottom of it, and then it even shows you chase cards, which I will get to in a second. Back of them. And here are the really cool chase cards. So just like Sorcerer's Stone, you get a foil set of 9. You put them together, R1, R2, R3, and so on, and you turn it over and it makes an image. But before we show you the image, let's look at the cards. So you get Harry, Hermione, and Ron, Lockhart, Draco, Dumbledore, Lucius, Ginny, and Hagrid. And as you can see down here, it's really easy to see the foils from the lighting. Now, every single one of them is like that. It's just not very easy to show, again, because the lighting. But you see that? And then, ba-bam! Pretty cool poster, I think. So it says Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Enemies of the air beware. And that concludes the 90 cards. Plus the chase cards. But there's more before we go on to the film cell cards and whatnot. Because there are some more in this binder. So I actually have the complete set of box topper cards. So here they are. There are actually foil. Again, very hard to see it though. But here is the Sorting Hat, Mrs. Norris, Platform 9 3/4, and then Flourish and Blots is also a foil card. And if we flip it over, you'll see that says HP, Chamber of Secrets, BT 1, 2, 3, and 4. But there is still more before we move on. Because I actually have 2 promo cards. So a lot of promo cards, as you saw, were different colors. I only have 2 gold ones. But I have this one of Harry and Ron in Lockhart's class. And it says, coming June 2006. And then I have Dobby saying, coming June 2006. Because remember, these came out in 2006. And on the very back, promo 1 and promo 2. And it's a little blurb about the collection itself. You know, it include base cards, foil cards, special foil cards, costume cards, prop cards, autograph cards, and some film cell cards. So yeah, a whole lot. So now that you've seen the Chamber of Secrets, let's move on to the rest of the cards in the series. Okay, and bonus, right? So I filmed this weeks later. I actually added 2 more promos. Well, gold promos, that is, to the binder. I actually have more Chamber of Secrets promos to show you, but since they're factory sealed, they don't actually fit in these sleeves, because these are thin sleeves for, like, standard size cards. So when I show you my prop, costume, and autographs for Chamber of Secrets, I'll also show you, like, my other promos and everything else that doesn't fit in the binder. So here we have Harry flying, and then we have Hermione casting a spell. It's basically the exact same thing on the back. as the first 2 promos. So promo 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's just a random space because I have nothing in that one right now. Okay, really fast, I forgot to show you guys this, but this is what the original boxes looked like for Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets by Artbox. So as you can see, it says 8 cards per pack, 24 packs per box, and on each side showed Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Dumbledore. And I gotta be honest, the Ron side is my absolute favorite because it's got a mandrake on it. And the very back of the box gives you all the information that you could get. So you could get 90 foil stamped base cards, 9 real foil chase cards, 4 box toppers cards, 1 per box, 1 per case topper card, and there's 2 of them. Then, you know, it goes on and on and on. And the back of it obviously has Dobby, but they're so beautiful, these boxes. And this is number 3,100 out of 6,000 boxes made. Pretty cool. So I have one, and no, I've never unboxed a full box before. It's very tragic, but they're like a couple $100 that I do not have. Alrighty, so it's been a hot minute since I recorded the previous 2 sections. It's actually October 7th, 2025. It's taken me a long time, but the reason for that is that in between the time of filming the Sorcerer's Stone video and uploading the Sorcerer's Stone video, I bought a lot of cards. And so I was waiting to organize all my other cards to continue this next section, which is showing you my collection. So that's why there's a huge gap between 1 and 2, and there's probably going to be even longer gaps between the other ones because they're going to take me longer to film and whatnot, because I have a lot of cards to show you, and like the next few series are really, really big to explain too as well. And you'll find out why in the next video. But so as you guys previously saw in the binder, I had some promo cards. Now here's the thing, I actually have more promo cards to show you. In fact, it's blue. So this is the blue series coming June 2006. But as you can see, it's factory sealed. Now the reason there's tape on this is just because the sleeves are really big for the trunk that I'm keeping them all in. I have a really cool card storage box, and so the sleeves are actually a bit like too wide, like they stick out for the top loaders too. So I've just gone and like taped them in. The cards themselves are perfectly fine inside the top loader. It's really just an aesthetic thing. It's not that pretty. However, it keeps it nice and organized. Look how tiny that is. I wish I had like a better tape, but alas, I just have the normal tape. So yeah, there it is. So it just says promo 1 through 4, so there's all 4 in here, and because there's 4 of them factory sealed, I couldn't fit them in the sleeves in the binder because they're single slotted ones, right? It's not thick enough. But I also have this one, which is really, really cool, and this is the case topper lenticular. Look at that, baby. Look at that. Hang on. It's a bit hard to show you with these 3D effects, but as you can see, it's the basilisk on its move in the Chamber of Secrets. Yeah, like I said, guys, it's very hard to show you because all the light's just reflecting everything, mind you. But yeah, and then the back of it is just a boring white thing that just says Artbox and the copyright info down below. So that is basically what should fit inside the binders. Like this one could totally fit in the binders, but because I just didn't want to, it's really just that simple. I just want to whip it out and be like, look what I got. And then this one's just too fat. That's basically it. Alright, now let's talk autograph cards, which, by the way, I don't have a single one in the Sorcerer's Stone series, as you guys saw, and I still don't. However, I do have a couple of Chamber Secrets ones. So first off, I'm going to show you the Julian Glover, who played Aragog. So the autograph cards shows the person or the character on this side. In this case, it's Aragog. A bit hard to see because it's just a dark image. And then it would have the Hogwarts, and then the basilisk right there, and it says authentic autograph card with the Harry Potter Chamber Secrets logo right there. And in this little white area is where the autograph belongs. And then it just tells you the back that you have received an authentic autograph card signed by Julian Glover, who played the role of Aragog in the Harry Potter and Chamber of Secrets film. And that is what they all look like in the back, right? It's just that they change per character and actor and actress, obviously. So I'm going to show you these ones as well. And I also have Gemma Jones. This one looks pretty clean, doesn't it? So again, like the character on one side, the logo and everything else on the other side, and then below her autograph. And you got the same thing on the back as well. Again, see, I just kind of like taped down the sleeve because it's a bit of a fat sleeve. It sticks out. If you've seen the Sorcerer's Stone ones, you could basically see like I was just holding the sleeves basically, and you could just see the whole thing. But there you have it. So Down here it says, you have a signed Gemma Jones autograph who played Madame Pomfrey. All there is to it on the back. And I even have Chris Rankin, who played Percy Weasley. And I gotta be honest, these autograph cards are not my favorite. And I'll tell you why. Obviously, I'm not gonna just leave you hanging. But I feel like they're just badly photoshopped. Like, you clearly see that he was photoshopped, right? Look at like the top of it, like he was just cropped out of the scene. And it's like they didn't really take images or like of stills or something like that. Like they just straight up took it from the movies. And I don't know, I feel like they're not that nice in comparison to other autograph cards that Artbox made. Honestly, Half-Blood Prince is a really nice one too. Deathly Hallows has some really, they're all really, really nice ones, but I feel like this one's like the least cool. Now, don't get me wrong, it's very cool, right, with the basilisk on it and everything, but it's not as cool as the other ones. And by the time, 2027 happens, because it's gonna take me forever to film all these videos, you will see for yourself and you can go and compare all the autograph cards. And again, the back of it is very much the same. It just says, signed by Chris Rankin, official, played Percy Weasley. Now, I do have one that's really, really cool, and I would love to get the partner, I guess, if you will. This is a redemption card. So, as you saw in the previous section of the video, you could get a redemption card, and when you would send that back, they would send you the autograph card. So, there's a good chunk of these around there, like in circulation on eBay or whatnot, but there's also the autograph of Shirley Henderson out there in the world. So I would love to especially get like a Chamber Secrets one. Like you could find Shirley Henderson in Goblet of Fire because she was in that movie, but I really want I want the partner, I want the copy together, I want the signed Shirley Henderson of Chamber Secrets. So there it is. It says Moaning Myrtle authentic autograph card, redemption card. And then this is what the back of it looks like. So, congratulations, you have a rare redemption card which may be exchanged for an authentic autograph card signed by Shirley Henderson, who played the role of Moaning Myrtle in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. To receive your authentic autograph card, fill out this card and mail it to Artbox Entertainment. And it just says offer expires December 1st, 2007. So, I've missed my window, but also the company doesn't exist anymore as it's 2025. Oops. So that is all that I have for the autographs for Chamber of Secrets. But if you thought we're stopping there, no, we're going. We got some prop cards to show you. So one of the ones that I actually have authenticated by eBay is Aragog. Yeah, that's right. I have Aragog's legs. Look at that. Isn't that nasty? That's disgusting. It's a big fat one too. And what the really annoying thing about this is that when you get things authenticated by eBay, they don't give it to you in a brand new top load or any of that stuff. You get like whatever they were shipped in. It's like this scratchy, ugly, there's lots of scratches on this top loader and it drives me mental. And obviously like the back of it, I have to hide the QR code for you guys because it's my info. But yeah, you can see it's not a very new case. Look at all those scratches on the top loader. Like the card itself is fine. It's authenticated. It's legit. It does have some minor wear on the edges. It's definitely not the best condition ever, but it is authenticated. You can check out the corners and stuff. You see the white edges on the corners? Not the best. But anyway, you can't even read this one, but this is number 119 out of 250. It's P8. It's prop 8 in the series, like prop card number 8. And it does say Aragog's legs. So that's right, I have Aragog's autograph and I got his legs. Yeah, I'm that cool. I know. You guys are like extremely jealous of me right now. I have spiders. Ha! Alright, let's move on. The next one I actually have. And this one's a bit of a hard variant to see because it's actually the edges that are really cool about this variant. So if you notice on this variant of a prop card, which I will tell you what it is, there's gold on one side and there's gold on another side. Again, apologies for it not being super duper clear with the lighting, but you can see it's gold. And what this is, I'll read you the back of it, Gilderoy Lockhart's Magical Me book. So, you know the beautiful cover? It's all black with some gold font and everything on it. That's what that is. And this is number 195 out of 280. So these are pretty low numbers. Here it is. Harry Potter prop card. Gilderoy Lockhart's Magical Me book. P7. And obviously you can tell too the differences between all the cards in Chamber Secrets. So for example, the autograph cards have like this blue hue to it, right? Bluish purple, if you will. The prop cards are all green. And I will show you what the costume cards and the cinema film style cards look like, but they're all like color coded, honestly, so pay attention to that. The next one I'm going to show you is actually Christmas crackers. This is one of the very first ones I've ever gotten in Chamber Secrets series from myself. And as you can see, it's part of the Christmas crackers. P10, and it says Christmas crackers. And this one is a really low number. It's only 26 out of 240. There you go, with the sorting hat on it. Now this one, I actually have two different versions of the next prop card. And the reason for that is because I got really two cool variants. I have mandrakes. That's right, I own parts of the mandrakes used in Harry Potter the Chamber Secrets. I have part of like the body, and then I have part of the leaf. Now I don't know what happened. There's like this thing that got stuck, or like some dust or whatever that is, but it's like, I don't know, but there's something on my mandrake prop card up there. I don't know what happened. This one is number 333 out of 360, and it's P5. And as you can see, it does say mandrake on it. And then the green one is 330. So they're very, very close in numbers, 330 and 333. And look at that, I got a leaf. That's right, I'm cool, I don't know. And this is P5, again, 330 out of 360. So almost at the very end. So, haha. Take that. So the next thing I'm going to show you is the costume cards. And as you guys saw in the previous section of the video, there's a lengthy list of them. And I gotta be honest, I have almost all of them, only missing a few of them. Probably like 4 or 5, whatever it is. I have 17 of them, so let's go. Now, remember how I was saying how some of the cards are like color-coded, if you will. So like the pop cards are green, the autograph cards are like a bluish purple hue. Well, this one is all blue. So this is what they all look like, with the character on one side, the variant inside, and this is a Jason Isaacs Lucius Malfoy costume card, and it is gorgeous. Besides the fact that Jason Isaacs is a god among men, but still, here he is. He's got part of his cloak, and it's number C8. And this number is 663 out of 640, so almost the very end. And it's got Fox on the back, so that's kind of cool, right? Like, so the sorting hat was on the back of the prop cards. Here you have Fox the Phoenix. Ta-da! Okay, now we have Argus Filch. Again, the character on one side, the variant on the other side. And this is part of his jacket. This is number C7, and it's 646 out of 665, and it's material worn by David Bradley as Argus Filch in the Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets movie. There you have that one. Now, I got a lot of Rons in this series. So here is Rupert Grint. His little plaid shirt. Cute little variant with one of the twins in the background, wide-eyed, really funny, cute photo. And this is number 185 out of 490, and it is C5. Like I said, I do have quite a bit of Rupert Grint's and quite a bit of Daniel's in this one, too. So this one is C4, and this is Daniel Radcliffe, basically in the same scene at the Burrow. This is number 223 out of 540. Again, Daniel Radcliffe, who played Harry Potter, if you haven't figured that one out by now. If you haven't, oopsie daisies on your part. And now we go back to Ron. It was basically the Ron and Harry show in this costume series. This is part of his sweater at the Burrow. And this is number 13 out of 290, and this is C2. And now we go back to Harry, and this is Harry's pajamas when Fred, Ron, and George go and rescue him, and this is 179 out of 340, and this is actually a case incentive. It says CI1 on the back of it. So I do keep him with all the costumes because it is a costume card, but it is actually not a C, it's a CI, you know? So there it is, it says CI on the very bottom. So a case incentive, again, refresher for the previous segment. You would get this if you bought a case of boxes of cards. A lot of cards. Very rare. Very expensive. And this one is 179 out of 340. Next up is A Beautiful Magical Me, Kenneth Branagh. And this one is this is number 414 out of 640, and it is costume C3. Again, Kenneth Branagh as Gilderoy Lockhart, Magical Me. And we're going back to Harry, everybody. Here is Daniel Radcliffe when he is writing into Tom Riddle's diary. He goes into the flashback. I really love this sweater. Love, love, love. He looks great in these old... I really love these old sweaters that they used to wear in the first 2 movies, and then it just became hoodies after hoodies after hoodies, and I was like, pfft. But anyway. This is C12, and this is number 208 out of 540. But guess what? Change of pace. Ginny Weasley, and it's a great variant. This is her pajamas. So not her bathrobe, but her pajamas. And this is 201 out of 340, and this is number C16, and yes, Bonnie Wright as Ginny Weasley, and it's her pajamas. All right, we're changing it up again, because now, guys, we have Uncle Vernon, aka Richard Griffiths, as number 348 out of 390, and this is C17, and it's part of like his tuxedo for when the Masons show up. And Harry's all like, I'll be in my room making no noise and pretending I don't exist. So there you have that one, and that one is C17. So this one's like the very last one, if I'm not mistaken. And then we actually have Mr. Robbie Coltrane as Rubius Hagrid, R.I.P. Obviously, R.I.P. to Richard Griffith as well. And this is C14, and again, Robbie Coltrane as Hagrid, and this is number 475 out of 550. There you have it, ooh la la. And then the last costume card, everybody, is Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter, and this is him in his sweater when he finds Dobby in his room. He's like, the fuck. Anyway, this is C11. This is 94 out of 440. Again, Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter. And that concludes all the costume cards for Chamber of Secrets. Alright, and the very last section that we're going to discuss today is the cinema film cell cards. Now, obviously you saw that in the previous video. They are literally theatrical trailer cuts thrown into cards. I even made a little video about them on the channel a couple of months, even a year ago at this point, I don't even remember. But the very first one we're going to look at is CFC3. So this one is basically Dumbledore's office with all the portraits, and inside is actually the Whomping Willow and the Ford Anglia. So I will show you a photo close up inside. There you have it. And then the back of it is number 212 out of 240. So the Cinema Film Cell cards are pretty low numbers, only 240 of them. But again, like in the previous video, collecting these is the biggest headache of them all because you can get various different trailer pieces in the cards. So think of all the variants. And I understand, like a lot of the clothing variants and the prop variants have that issue too, but it's a lot more prevalent and in your face for Cinema Film Cell cards because there's like so many different ones you can get. So I actually have another one to show you. So here's the exact same CFC3. It is Dumbledore's office. But inside is actually a really cool variant because it's when Nearly Headless Nick is petrified. So you see that in the trailer, and you see Harry walking up and everything. So super duper cool scenes. Again, really cool scenes, honestly. You have the Whomping Willow and the Ford Anglia one. You have Nearly Headless Nick petrified. Again, same cards, different variants. Anyway, this one is 230 out of 240, so almost the very end right there. Now we're going to Christmas. So this one is CFC4, and it's the sleigh ride for Hogwarts. And this scene is Ron drinking the Polyjuice potion with the big bug eyes. And here is the number 233. And if you wanted to read what it says, they all say the exact same thing. Congratulations, this Harry Potter Cinema Film Cell card contains an authentic piece of film from the US theatrical trailer of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Again, 238 out of 240, CFC4. But I actually have more variants of this one, so here's the exact same card. This time, though, it's Harry hanging out of the Ford Anglia when they're flying to Hogwarts. So there is the scene right there, and this is number 139 out of 240. Same information on the back. But wait, there's more, because this one also is the exact same card. However, the variant inside is... what the hell is that? Oh, it is the Polyjuice Potion being scooped out of the cauldron, basically. And that is number 117 out of 240. Moving right along, yes, that is all I have for the Christmas card. This one is CFC 5, and it's actually really expensive because it features Tom Felton. And like you know, Tom Felton goes for a lot of money nowadays. So this card right here is a pretty penny. And this one is 148 out of 240. And it features Harry listening to the walls because he's hearing the basilisk move. So he's really listening. That's part of the trailer, right? So there is the back of it right there. Moving right along, we have Harry inside the Chamber of Secrets. This is number CFC 7. So he's basically inside the tunnels. And the theatrical trailer is actually Professor McGonagall talking to the Gryffindor students in the common room. And it's number 93 out of 240. I actually have the same card, again, CFC 7, 154 out of 240. But this time, if you look at the trailer inside, this is a film still card, it is the sleigh ride. It is literally the horses for Christmas. So you know how we just saw that card? This is the exact same thing inside the trailer. Funny, isn't it? That's why I have so many different versions. And then the very same card yet again. And this is 115 out of 240. And this is Harry and Ron in Gilderoy Lockhart's class. When they first meet Gilderoy Lockhart in class. Moving right along, this is number CFC 8. Again, features Mr. Belloccio, Tom Felton. And this is number 222 out of 240. And the Cinema Film Cell card is Harry when he's transforming into a Polyjuice Potion. And here's the back of it. CFC 8. Alright, now this is when Harry is transforming into the Polyjuice Potion. So yes, the exact same scene in this little cut right here is actually this card right here. I seem to have a lot of those, don't I? I know. Anyway, I digress. So this is number CFC 9. It's 188 out of 240. And it's Harry, Ron, Hermione talking during Christmas in the Great Hall. And here is the back of it. 188. Alright, and the very, very last one that I have is Be in Your Bonnet, Potter, and it's the sorting hat. Again, by the way, if you notice that these are all green, the theme basically is kind of green in Chamber of Secrets. Like, obviously, the base cards are all green. A lot of these cards are all green. The costume cards are blue to separate prop and costume and whatnot. So here it is. This is the card. The scene is actually Harry as... was it Crab or Goyle? He says Dumb and Dumber, basically. It's Harry and Ron actually is Dumb and Dumber, and as their Polyjuice Potion. And then this is number 73 out of 240, and this is CFC 2. So everyone, after this million-year-long video of 3 segments and whatnot, actually it's really 4 segments. I shot this in 4 different parts. Anyway, that concludes the entire Chamber of Secrets that I have as of October 7th, 2025. It is a lot, and trust me, it gets even longer starting now from Prison of Azkaban, and the rabbit hole is a lot deeper. So bear with me as I make these, because it's going to take me forever to edit and film all this. It's a process, mind you. So that is it. Let me know what you guys think down below. Would you collect these cards? Which card is your favorite? Do you like the Cinema Film Set cards, the costume cards, the base sets? Let me know all your thoughts below, and I will see you guys all next time, and thanks for watching. Oh, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them down below. Okay, bye.